Welcome to the Complete Runner Podcast. This is episode number 10. And today we have the Harlesses, Andy and Anita, and of course, Antonio, and I'm Brad. So, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
We got a lot to talk about because both of you have done quite a bit and have a great story as well. And you got your crew gear on, which is awesome to see.
Fancy Nancy.
We didn't get that memo. Well, Theodora, though.
Just my complete runner.
Yeah.
You're still sporting the complete runner stuff, at least.
We all look good. It's all right.
So let's kind of start from, I guess, the beginning of running careers for you guys. So what kind of got you into running? What was kind of the start of it all?
I would probably say for me, postpartum depression.
Really?
Yeah. So if you got a kid at home, a husband that works a lot, makes really good sense when you're, in emotional disaster.
Road or trail?
It was road.
Okay.
It was road, yeah. All roads at that time.
Just like getting around the neighborhood, just getting outside?
Getting around the neighborhood. I'd cart two kids no joke, in a radio flyer wagon through downtown Holly. That's no joke.
Love the radio flyer.
Yeah, and then people downtown would be like, "There's that girl," and I'd be waving, "Hi," as I'm just dragging the kids.
Kids are bouncing out.
Yeah, totally.
Mom,
slow down.
Yeah, that's how it started for me. So I think.
Yeah, and my running career has been sporadic. So I didn't start running for, I don't know,
Been off and on.
Yeah, I was like 220 pounds, 225 pounds, and I would always take her to the Crim every year. I thought, this is so cool, like the environment of all these runners.
Very infectious.
It was, and then the next day I was like, no, I'm good. Starting
never mind. I'm okay.
So I think it was in early 2005-ish, because that's when I started working for there. Yeah, dropped some weight and started running.
Awesome.
But then it's just been off and on,
The Crim was actually what got me running.
Yeah.
Like, was my first race.
That was your first race.
And then
Yeah.
we trained. I was going to do the 5K because I'd never ran a 5K before. It was like a big deal.
Yeah.
And so then I got going a little farther, and then I'm like, I think I could do a 10 mile. I think I can do that 10 miler that they have at the Crim. And so I signed up. I worked. I ran. And the day of it, it was a storm, like a really bad storm. And I had this little cold going on. I couldn't breathe. And I was coughing and hacking. And my mother, my father, and everybody, we were Team Harless. We crewed the whole kids, all of us down there. And we didn't even make it to a parking spot. I was hacking so bad.
Ow.
Came back and I cried all the way home. And I ended up in the hospital. I actually had pneumonia.
Oh my gosh! Good thing you didn't try and run.
That was my first Crim, and then the next year, actually, I ended up with an appendectomy 2 weeks before the Crim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks before the Crim. It was awesome, but I still ran it.
Of course you did.
I said to the doctor, I said, so I'm supposed to do this 10-mile race?
So we'll learn about the level of crazy as this thing goes on with all your stories. That's probably just the beginning.
It was definitely the beginning.
It was, yeah. And then I think it was 2 years later, I was doing this super cool Jackie Chan move 2 weeks before the Detroit Half Marathon. It was my big race. And I tore my ACL. I decided not to go to the doctors because I knew he'd tell me I couldn't run the Detroit.
Well, of course, you don't want to hear that.
So I ran the Detroit Half Marathon.
With a torn ACL.
Yeah.
And then she got it repaired after the race. Yeah.
Only to tear it again 10 months later. Yeah, that was awesome.
Okay, so you probably should be in a bubble.
I know. Yeah, I was doing like a really cool football move the second time though. I gave up front kicks and decided to do like maybe football with my 8-year-old at the time.
So, at any point of this, did you just think like, well, maybe this is karma or fate or something telling me I shouldn't run?
Oh yeah, like 100 times. But then it was like this little whisper, "You can do it." Yeah, so I went for the whisper, not the holler. That
Well,
said,
of course,
"Don't do it."
yeah.
And meanwhile, were you chasing along? And
No, I had nothing to do with it. I did. I told you, I was 220 pounds, man. I was huge. I was fat. I had to go to the Y every day and drop I probably dropped 20 pounds before I even thought about getting on a treadmill. No less run outside. That was not part of the
Not happening.
And then
But you were
eventually-
injury free, right?
Oh, I've had lots of injuries, but nothing like her. I haven't torn
Oh.
ACL. I break so easy. I break.
So you don't do Jackie Chan
No, I
moves
don't
or
do that
football moves or anything?
No, he just walks on a sidewalk and
And
yeah,
that's how it.
breaks before you.
Her career has been pretty interesting running career.
So Crim, kind of when you eventually did one, that was kind of the start of it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? What was your first race?
Man, I think it was just
like a 5K.
Yeah, it was a
local
5K, little small 5K, and then I don't know. I think Crim was my first big race.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. And then the free press, and then started. And then from there, you just go off and on. I just stopped running for 6 months. I'd get an injury and stop running, or.
You ran the Detroit 20. No, it was 2010. You did the half marathon. That was your first big one.
International, U.S.
International.
What'd you think of it?
I loved it. That's my favorite race. It's always been my favorite race.
So you're doing it again.
Something's that weekend though. What is that weekend?
It's Sweetest Day weekend.
No, there's another.
Then there you go.
There's another big race on the free press.
Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids. There's another one.
Toronto.
Bear Lake.
Bear Lake.
Have you ran free press?
I have. I've done both sides of the half. It's a very cool race.
It is.
Yes.
It's fun.
So after that, how'd you get into all of the crazy stuff you guys have done? Because you both have done.
I haven't done.
Well, I've seen you on the trails as well, my friend.
Yeah, trails.
So how'd you get into all of the kind of the ultra type stuff?
Yeah, that's a good question. How did you?
Especially since you're injury prone.
Right. So I ran. So in 2010, I would just add a mile every week. Keep adding a mile. And I remember one day I showed up at my work in Clarkston, and they're like, Anita, and I'm like, hey, I just got to refuel.
We live in
Holly. From Holly to Clarkston, and I'm going back, and they're like, you're
throw
right.
that in there.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, well, do you want me to drive you back home? I'm like, no, I got to run back home. And I came home that day, and I told Andy, I think I can qualify for Boston. I think we can do this. And Andy's like,
You hadn't ran a marathon yet, though.
nope, I never ran a
She
marathon.
never ran a marathon. And yeah. So yeah.
So I thought, I think we can do
qualify
this.
for Boston.
I'm going to try this. And he's like,
Never
well,
ran a marathon.
what do you want to do? I go, Chicago. He's like, Chicago's closed down. And I was like, well, what if we raise the money for leukemia lymphoma?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, Anita, I don't know. I just don't know. And then I did the typical wife thing, and then the next day he had $10 there, and he said, we're going to wrote on. I still have it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was first donation. So I end up raising the money. I end up running that, end up qualifying on my first marathon.
And the course was black flagged at one time, or red flagged. They almost shut the course
the
down.
heat.
Yeah,
That was one of the hot ones?
It was a hot one.
97, 100%.
So there was, I ended up with 10, right around, it was 7 to 10 pacers. So there was 35 people in my pace group. Every one of them had dropped. Every person, I was the only one standing.
Oh my gosh.
And the pacers were literally doing loops around me. And they'd go to an aid station and they were just crewing me. They would look at me like, today is your day. And I was like, okay.
So they're obnoxious like
They
you.
were very, very obnoxious.
Oh,
But they got
peeking
me.
up hot right there.
They got me through. And the really cool thing is I was supposed to do that Andy's first half marathon. Those same pacers
Oh, that's right. That was free.
were his pacers.
No
Yeah.
For
way.
the 2-hour half. So once I did that, I told Andy, I go, I just feel like, okay, I did this. I need to do something different now. A 50K is only a few more miles.
That was
That's-
much later.
That's a couple-
because you ran a couple of Bostons after that.
Yeah. ran-
That's logic.
Well,
You
I
know,
mean,
it's just
yeah.
a little bit farther.
it was only, mathematically, a
5
little bit farther. So, I mean, it was about, it had sat there, the idea sat there. And then I ran 2013 for the Boston bombings
Mhm.
and had the kids there. That was a tough one. And made the kids go back for 2014. And then was just like, we need to do something. We need to add something. And we did Hungerford. And we decided to do the 50 mile instead of the 50K.
Well, of course, I mean, just because 50K is only a little
Yeah,
bit
it's only a
farther.
little
So-
We kind of
Yeah.
jumped the gun on that one.
Was Hungerford the one that was really steep?
Hungerford is out like the Manistee Forest. It was beautiful. My whole family came. They all
No.
crewed.
No, where was the one that was up in like Tennessee or Kentucky or something?
Oh, that was the one you tried to kill me.
I bought it for you as a gift. What was that?
Yeah,
Oh,
you did. I
That was just
swear.
for you, stay, right?
Yeah. Christmas. What was that, Rick?
Here you
That was Cloud Splitter.
Cloud Splitter.
Yeah, that's the one he took the
Don't
life
run Cloud
insurance
Splitter. Yeah,
policy out of me. I swear he did.
That's a lot of elevation.
go.
So that was a 50 mile, and then I did the 100K. That was my Christmas present,
Oh, nice.
my death present.
Wow.
Still here.
You're really good with the gifts.
Yeah.
You're.
I got a birthday coming up.
Yeah.
Hey, we're giving away race engines.
Exactly.
Definitely good gifter.
Yeah, he is. My mother-in-law's never done another race, never gone back again after Cloud Splitter.
Yeah, that was because I paced her through the night on that one, and it had gotten super cold in the mountains and kind of that misty,
Mhm.
it gets in the mountains, and it was literally like you were just crawling on your hands and knees up these rocks, like a glacier type mountains.
I
and
might
it
have been
was-
crying too.
oh, it was horrible.
Maybe.
I think I was.
I'm sure it was just
I'm
the
done.
mist.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it. I was glowing.
And she had a time goal, and we kept saying, and some guy, a very experienced ultra runner, befriended
David.
her. Yeah, David Galloway or David.
Nope, not David Galloway. David Holiday.
Yeah, Holiday, and picked us up, and he got her through because he would run for 50 feet and then walk, and he knew he had to maintain so many 2.5 miles an hour. We're going to get you at your goal. So
Mhm.
that was fun.
So you'd lie to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, he would lie to
She was crying. At
It
one point.
works.
She was crawling up this embankment, and I'm trying to help her. She said, "I don't need you," and she just started bawling, just crying. I'm like, "What do I do?"
Just get it out.
Yeah.
me.
So that was.
But you finished.
I finished.
Did good.
I did good. I was happy. I lived to tell about it.
And then what was next after that?
Lots of
see.
50Ks.
Yeah, I did
100K stuff in there.
few 50Ks.
What's that race out at the hippie race?
Oh yeah, Woodstock.
Woodstock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Woodstock.
Done that
That's
a few
fun.
times.
We did that.
That is
yeah.
a great race.
That is a great race. Yeah. I've done a couple. I think I've done almost every distance there except for the naked run. I thought, it's
Sure
been on
it's
my
coming.
goal.
That's
it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's coming. We're going to get Andy to do that one.
Yeah. He loves his birthday suit.
only if you do it with me.
Yeah, listen.
He's gonna
I've
grow
done
his
crazy
beard real
stuff.
long.
No, Antonio's in now.
I could see Antonio doing that
Yeah.
without shame.
No shame at all.
See people running in opposite directions.
Have you done the 100 mile?
Nope, 100K. I did the 100K.
You did do a 100-miler. You did Hennepin.
Yep.
Is there any other 100-milers that you've done?
Nope, just Hennepin. That was my one-hit wonder.
Do
Had
another
my
one?
fun. Yeah, I would do another one. Yeah, especially if you guys are all crewing me. Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, hey, let us
Wipe
know.
my tears.
Have you guys
Sure.
ever crewed an ultra?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I think it's a great time. Yeah, actually.
I've worked one.
Oh, yeah,
It
so
feels like
Yeah.
a crew.
Yeah.
It is.
You're
Pulling my
crewing more
hair
than
out.
most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Maybe I'll be there with you next time.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
Kettle
Antonio
Moraine.
running 100 mile. You said
We'll
you
see.
like to watch those people cross.
I'm like you with your crim the first time. It was all great the day of,
right.
and then the
And then
next
the next
day,
day, like,
yeah, I'm over it. Yeah. It was cool being in that excitement.
The experience, looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
so you run with a cool group, Team Squishy Toes.
Team Squishy Toes.
Yeah. How did you meet that group? Because you guys seem so tight and do some crazy stuff and are there for each other on some big races and some kind of keystone stuff. So how did that friendship come together?
Let's see here. So I met them training for Cloud Splitter. It was Cloud Splitter, yeah. I met
what's his name?
Ken
Arble.
Ken Arble
I shouldn't say last names. I just
don't
realized that.
Well, Ken and Matt. I had never ran trails, never ran them. So even when I ran Hungerford, I never ran a trail before Hungerford. One time I went out to Pontiac Lake and I thought it was going to be the death of me, and I only did 10 miles.
Oh, can I just interject? I know I'm really bad at interrupting. I just remember. So Hungerford.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that course?
No.
Okay, it's like all sand. A lot of it's sand. And she had never ran a trail, but it goes through the forest there, whatever forest that is up there. Manistee Forest. And so anyway, she never ran trails, never ran. Was that your first ultra?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And she held the course record for like 10 years.
Literally
held the course
every
record.
year I would check. I'm like, finally, it was like 2 years ago. I'm like, oh.
And the race was pretty big. I mean, it wasn't like a little tiny race, you know. So every year we'd get online and see if she still had the course record, and she did.
Not until like 2 or 3 years ago.
That's pretty cool, though.
It was cool.
Pretty. That was pretty cool.
So,
That was pretty cool.
Squishy Toes.
Oh,
Squishy Toes.
So
Antonio and Ken.
Yes. So Matt and Ken invited me to run on Mondays out at Holdridge with them, and so I would kind of truck behind them and listen to all their epic, ultra stories. And I don't think I talked for weeks.
You didn't talk?
No, I swear.
You weren't loud at all?
I was just trying to keep up. I was just like trying to keep up. I was so intimidated by them, and I don't think that they even knew I even existed. They just kept talking about their stuff. And, finally I started to pipe in a little bit. And
so you're saying you learned all of this from Matt then, being loud in the woods?
Ken was kind of loud too, but they used to do these like fairy dances together. It was like they knew, like they had this really special little.
Everyone's hearing this, Matt.
Yeah, they would just be like butterflies.
Antonio knows all about that.
And they would just dance.
About it.
And I would be like, wow, they're like running and dancing. That's very talented. I couldn't do that because I couldn't even talk and run with them still. Remember, like I was just trying to keep up. So then, through the week, there was Chris and Rachel, and they ran out at Holly Rec. And so I had a long run, and I reached out to them because I never ran Holly Rec, and I can get lost in my backyard. So going out by myself was never a good idea. And so I'm like, you guys, can I run with you? Could you guys help me out? I got this long run to do. And they're like, yeah. And I just remember running from my house all the way to Holdridge. The girls picked me up. We ran, and then I had to run all the way back. And from there, we just ran every Wednesday or Thursday. And then I coached cross country, so I knew Claudia. Mm-hmm. And so then I had introduced Claudia to them, and then introducing Matt and Ken to them. And so then we just kind of ended up all one goofy, the most ridiculous name ever, Team Squishy Toes, was because we were running and it was super squishy. And I think it was Matt who said it, something about the squishiness. And I was like, this is the stupidest name ever. And it stuck.
But it stuck.
It totally stuck. And I hear people like, Team Squishy Toes. I'm like, yeah. What's your name? Yeah. We're Team Squishy Toes.
Another thing that I think has probably come from that is your whole Marco Polo. You can hear at any race, you can hear in the middle of a training run in the woods.
For sure. Yeah, it was
just a little bit.
It's fun, but it's amazing how many people have, I think, kind of caught on to that.
It's awful.
It was on display last weekend.
Yeah, it was. It was at a race we did last weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did.
Winter loops.
Winter loops, and I had to do it. At first, I was kind of bashful. Then I'm like, forget it, Marco. And then I heard everybody.
And then you hear through the woods, polo, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Let's talk a little bit about kind of bumping the road for you guys.
Little bump.
Yep, little bump, but you got through it.
I got through it.
You got through it. So tell us a little bit, people that don't know kind of your story, I'll let you share that.
So I was diagnosed in April with triple negative breast cancer, stage 2. And Dr. Sullivan was so graciously had to tell Andy and I our results because nobody would call us back. And so he was phenomenal. I kind of already knew it. You know, there's a part of you that just knows that you know,
You're feeling there was something.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And then I wasn't really rattled by it until Dr. Sullivan had just noticed that I wasn't rattled and thought, I need to get her a little bit rattled here. So, he went through a nice list of all the things that I was going to have to deal with. And one of those things was talking to my children about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what rattled me for sure.
Yeah.
And then it was, wait, I've got all these races scheduled. And wait a minute, hold on. Am I still going to be able to run?
How does this affect my training?
Exactly. And he said the absolute coolest thing to me. And it became a hashtag for us. He says, this is going to be 9 months, Anita, a good 9 months that you're going to have the fight of your life. And you're going to treat this just like another marathon. And you're going to get through this 1 mile at a time,
mm-hmm.
one treatment at a time, and you're going to get through chemo, and you're going to get through surgery, and you're going to get through radiation, and you're going to get through it. You're just going to keep knocking it off. And I just used that, really adhered to that throughout the entire process. And it helped me in so many ways. And the doctors were like, yeah, you can keep running like 3 or 4 miles. And I was like, whoa.
That's a warm-up. What are you talking
I'm
about?
like, that's not going to work. And I think that worked for about 2 weeks. And I thought, well, I feel good, I don't want to, 3 or 4 miles. And, all my friends, were really awesome. They were like, nope, don't want you to overdo it. Don't want to run with you. No, you shouldn't run. And I get it because they all cared and they were worried. And then I remember my one girlfriend, Lacey, was like, dude, she's going to run with you or she's going to run without you.
Yeah.
So, you guys better just jump on board and be part of the journey with her. Yeah. And that was huge. There was many runs where I cried coming home because I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I couldn't do what I thought I could do. But we did it, and, they were there. They made sure that, they would be there for me and do whatever capacity that I could do at that time. And that meant a lot to me. It really meant a lot to me. They would have my water, like, Anita, I brought extra water because you have to stay hydrated. And I was like, thank you. And then they'd pull out their packs and they'd have protein bars for me. And here, eat something. And so I was able to run all summer against the doctor's orders,
mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think it got him a little bit nervous on more than one occasion. Yeah. It might have been the only thing I did all day. But mentally, I couldn't have done what I did without it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Was it, do you think it was kind of like an outlet, or was it just something that your body needed in order to get through the day? Or both?
It was my way of saying cancer is not going to take everything from me.
Yep.
That was what it was for me. It was, cancer is going to take my eyebrows, and it's going to take my hair. It's going to take my energy to some extent. It's going to take my summer. It's going to take my races.
It took some of your energy?
I know.
Holy cow.
I know. It did.
If
How many reserves do you have?
Replacement eyebrows. I have you covered. Trust me.
Thank you. Well, where were you at in August when I needed you most?
I could have helped you out. Look at this.
Yeah. So it was really cool because my chemo nurses, more so than my doctors, because my chemo nurses, so in order for me to keep running, I had to subject myself to extra blood work.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to go in. They had to test me everything out on a Monday after a long run, and they wanted to do it again then right before chemo. So they were really hyper monitoring me.
You kind of felt like a professional athlete.
I know.
Here I am putting the training in.
Or a pincushion, however you want to look at it, for sure. And my chemo nurses were so fabulous, because they would whisper, they'd be like, Anita, I think it's so cool that you're still running. You showed those doctors, and they were just
They've probably
totally
never seen anything like that.
No.
That's what he said. He said, normally my patients ask, can I go for a walk in the mall?
Yeah.
And I have to tell them, yeah, but be careful. You're asking me, can you run a 50K up north? and like literally, can I do that? So I think, what did you back out of? There was one thing.
Kettle Marine. Because they told me in April, that was in June, and they said no. And Andy actually agreed with me too, because I go, I could have ran that. And he actually said, yeah, I think you could have.
Didn't you have that something when your white count got dangerously low, remember? And he's like, and you had to stay inside. Was that a race?
It was probably a run week of some sort. I don't know. Yeah.
I know at one point her white count got to the point where like
I couldn't work.
It was like literally like, okay, either we're put you in the hospital or you absolutely promise me, because it was just.
I couldn't get chemo. I had to have a transfusion.
That was your hemoglobin. That was different.
Wasn't Ann Arbor when I gave you my last time.
Well, that was the start of it all.
That was the start of it all.
That released some mast cells, I think. It's just fed on the tumor bed. And thank you.
That was awesome. You got me to the finish with that. It was like the power Motrin.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
because I was behind you.
So since you got diagnosed, how many races have you completed?
Wow, since I got diagnosed, so that was April. So my goal has always been to try to run one race a month. That's always been my goal. So April was trail weekend.
Mm-hmm. Which was how far?
That was a 50K and a half marathon.
Okay.
And then May was, I did, there was a race out in the Heartland.
How do you remember this?
A 10K I did with my girls. And then June was, I don't remember what June was. Oh, it had to have been something. It had to have been something. But I remember August was Marquette. The Creme was August as well.
August, yeah.
Because they're on opposite weekends.
North Country? Did you do
No, I didn't do North.
No.
That was the same weekend, I think.
It's Creme.
Yeah, that's what it is. They share that same weekend. Because Rachel did North Country.
Yes. Yeah.
She did really well.
She did very well, yeah. And they're the ones that talked me into doing it this year.
Didn't you pace the Creme?
Yeah, I
That was
did.
a cool thing.
Yep, me and Lacey
That was on our
did
bucket
that.
list.
Oh yeah, this year or this last year, right?
During chemo, yeah. Because
Then you came down to Hennepin and paced Chris.
Oh yeah, that was a
Yeah.
50K. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And
Oh
was it-
yeah,
That
I
was
forgot
a
about
50K.
this.
Same as
50K for one of your good friends. I mean,
Yeah, that was in October.
That was the first week of October.
So that
for
wasn't
No big
Chris.
deal, just 50K.
It wasn't the same weekend as Creme, though.
No,
No.
that was August. Yeah,
Nighttime 50K, no big deal.
that was fun.
Yes, yeah.
so you've done all this stuff while fighting the disease and winning.
And winning. Yeah.
It's awesome.
It is.
I mean, for everyone out there who's thinking about, should I maybe sign up for that first 5K?
Right.
Like,
Yes.
no excuses. Like,
Yes.
come on.
Yeah.
Get going. That's awesome.
And you don't know what you can do unless you do it.
Yeah.
And if you live by the fear of what you can or cannot do, you're never going to do it. You can't. If I lived by what my doctor said I should do or couldn't do, then I wouldn't have had all these really awesome experiences I don't even, there was a completely different story. If I just succumb to allow the parameters of what cancer tells you to do.
If you listen to
The
the doctors.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't listen to your doctors. I didn't say that. I swear I didn't say that.
Yeah, I mean, I know from someone who's been at races and getting to meet you on the trails. I mean, it's amazing the impact you've had on all the people around you. I mean, here I am kind of like struggling through the trails, and you're floating on clouds at the top of your voice, having so much energy in the middle of all the stuff you have going on. It's amazing. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone that's met you out there, it's cool. Thank you. It is so cool. So you have a blog.
I do.
So you've kind of been able to capture kind of your journey on all this stuff,
I did.
the good and the bad, and all your thoughts. And what's the site? Where do you go to read all that?
Running Against the Odds. Running Against the Odds. Yeah. So I started that probably. I started that right after I got into Boston, and the purpose of that was just to show people that from my makeup, from where I grew up, I just this little trailer park girl that didn't stand a chance. Honestly, that's how it started. I just
Till she met me.
And so that was it. It was like there was nobody in my corner, nobody that was, that said, "Oh, Anita's going to achieve this." I just didn't stand a chance coming from two alcoholic parents, and I lost my dad at 11 and my mom at 18. So the Running Against the Odds was formed just to show people, like, no, you are more than your odds. Mm-hmm. You're not a number. You're not a statistic. You're not a part of your environment. You are more than that, and you can do more than that. And that's how it came to be.
You can do what you want if you
absolutely
have the attitude and you put forth the effort.
Absolutely.
Oh,
wow.
Hello.
Well,
hello. Hello.
I had it on silence. Sorry, we cut that out.
You can ring my...
She was starting to get preachy anyway. She got
That's the Lord calling.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just reminding you he's there.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's cool too about but not only did she impact the running community or just people in general, but how much the running community did for you.
Oh yeah.
With the fundraiser and just how awesome everybody was that came out and was so generous. Complete Runner donated an obscene amount of money, and
so did the Parkers.
Everybody.
Hilltop.
I mean, just from everybody that gave and came out and just hung out, and it was amazing. So thank you to you guys especially. We were pretty humbled by that.
Yeah, it's a cool community. I mean.
It is.
You guys are such a force in the community, and you probably don't even realize it. And it's just because you are who you are, and you have fun, and it's infectious, like how upbeat you guys are, and
I'm upbeat.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Yeah.
I married up.
Now, yeah.
So Antonio,
now you're coming out on Thursday runs. I mean,
this guy is throwing me under the bus.
You said you married up.
Yeah, my wife married up. What time?
No, she didn't.
No, I got you.
No. We'll ask Emily a little bit later what her thoughts on that are.
No, you guys are great. You guys add a lot to the community. As Brad said, it's a very infectious community. So anytime that we can get together and bring some positive to that, it's awesome, man. You're just cool. Like helping out.
Yeah, I hope nobody has to go through that. But it's humbling, but at the same time, it's cool. It's just a weird thing to have to accept somebody's donation. I mean, it's
very humbling.
It is, but at the same time, it just makes you feel amazingly I'm really glad I took up running.
Yeah, cool. I mean, the way I look at it is, if it was reversed, I would hope people would do the same.
You would, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what you do with family. So, so what's coming up for you guys? I mean, all of this stuff has happened. Obviously, you're not slowing down. So
I kind of am.
Well,
I'm a little
I
hoodwinked
mean,
here. Just saying.
it's only temporary, you know.
Okay.
So what'd you do to your knee? Just so everyone knows you're kind of
A stupid 4-mile run. I messed it up. It messed me up. I like that better.
yeah.
It messed me up. It just kind of came out. I've been
No Jackie
getting-
Chan move on this.
No, no. It was more like a
You don't even have like a
Linden.
good story for it.
No, I don't have a good story. Actually, I do have a good story, but we're not going to share that online right now. But yeah, so my knee gave out 4 weeks ago. I've been going to Clinton Brand getting PT for the last 4 weeks, and I got 2 weekends in a row, 2 10-milers. So that was pretty. They're getting me there.
Yep.
Woo-hoo!
Yep.
They're
Slow
getting
and
me there.
steady. Slow
and steady.
That's the guy to see, though.
Yeah, Clint's awesome.
Clint's good.
He's very good. Yeah, and it's like I walk in like, Anita. I'm like, yeah, it's me again.
I'm here.
How you doing?
I'm back.
We're back. So.
Just me, or is there like a theme here that everybody seems to know Anita? Oh, Anita's back.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a blessing and a cursing, though, right? Oh, Anita.
Marco.
Exactly.
Some people say that. What is up next for you?
We got, what month are we in?
We are in March.
Oh, pot of gold.
Pot of gold.
Pot of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kilts. We're running in kilts, right?
Hey, we're
He's
running
working.
kills, man.
Isn't that Scottish?
That's Scottish. We'll add a little
Irish?
Scottish Irish.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
I'll have a 4-leaf clover or something.
Yeah. And a hat. Or
Yeah.
something.
All right.
Maybe dye the beard green.
Yes.
You should do that.
Or gold.
That would be sweet.
Gold. Ooh.
Gold.
That would be cool.
Sharp dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We'll see. We'll work on it.
Sharp dressed leprechaun.
You have something in the fall, don't you? The one that Antonio bailed on.
Oh, North
Oh,
Country.
North Country.
Yes, we're doing North Country in the fall.
Right on.
Right on.
I mean,
I am Bell. I was misinformed.
Misinformed.
I
I heard they
I'm-
have really cool swag.
I know. I want that.
I
Medal.
know, that
I want that
big
medal.
Like
fat
metal
one.
and jackets and all sorts of stuff. It's
Oh,
supposed
that
to
would be
sweet.
fun.
Would be.
Get your name on the waiting list.
Thinking about
It's a
doing.
long list.
Is it?
Yeah.
Don't you know somebody?
Yeah, it's popular.
If
too.
you're
Where,
out
Yeah.
where are you on the list?
Yeah. If anybody knows connections with North Country and wants to help me out,
I want to run with it
Yeah.
one more time.
I got a friend. I know somebody that you
yeah,
should.
help me out.
The bearded runner wants in.
The bearded runner.
You got Ann Arbor?
I'm not doing Ann Arbor. I'm not doing Ann Arbor.
I thought you were.
No.
I get
no.
too.
No, I'm not doing Ann Arbor. Too cheap.
Oh my god.
You got a big group coming out there. Is
Well,
that Doug's? Is that Doug's shot?
Nope. Doug is going to do Glass City for
Glass City.
his
Yeah.
BQ.
Yeah, that'd be a hard one to do.
Ann Arbor's a little,
Yeah,
little
Ann
hilly.
Arbor-
There's
yeah.
a tough one.
That would not be a good one.
I think Glass
We'll
City's
reach out to our connections in Ann Arbor, see what we can do.
What's Glass City?
Glass City's what?
Toledo, it is 426.
Mm,
Same
yeah, because it's the
weekend
same
as
as Trail
Trail.
Weekend.
Hey, we're going to be at Trail
I'm gonna
Weekend,
be a
though.
trail weekend. I can't help
But I could go run Glass City by myself.
Really? Well, we'll take care of it.
That's pretty flat. Yeah.
We got it.
you.
Super flat.
He will never.
That's,
Isn't that the race
that's,
you guys-
that's where Holly
love it,
and
yeah.
Anita ran and qualified, kinda.
We did.
Oh,
We
bring that up. Oh
did.
my god.
When you almost qualify?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
wow.
got the BQ. We just didn't get the.
Yeah,
When you get the
they-
rug
they
snatched
just-
from beneath
yeah,
you.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much.
our epic
They
failure.
got the BQ, but not
Well,
the
everyone's
letter.
going to be in Vaporflies this year, so you better run faster.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it'll save you like 4 or 5%. So
Nice.
there
Nice.
you go. There you go.
My rejection letter. I remember that. Lacey's like, we're just rejects. I'm like, okay.
It makes you feel better. I'll never even get a rejection. They don't even have to address anything. You were 50 minutes slower than your qualifying time.
That's great. The Eau de Laz, the night run.
Oh yeah, that's and I got
May 1st, yeah.
May 1st. That'll be fun. You
That'll
guys
be
gonna be
good.
out there?
I'm not sure yet, actually.
I have to ask for permission.
Oh my
So
gosh.
if, what do you mean, oh my gosh, you know how it is.
Nice. I like it.
You're married to a stylist.
I got a skirt for you.
That's true.
Saturdays are busy.
That's true.
So we'll
Yes,
see.
they are.
It starts at 8:25
Yeah,
in
some weird
the
time.
evening, and you run for 12 hours. So it sounds like a blast. I want to be there.
Yeah, sounds like a good time.
And it's like 80s theme, so we get to dress up.
Oh, yeah. Always good with these.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm all about the 80s.
Heck
Born in
yeah.
87.
Sounds like a normal day.
Nice.
I'm the one introvert surrounded by all these extroverts right now.
We can dress you up.
Oh, I will dress you up. for
Dress
sure.
you up. What
Cut
was
that
that
out.
song?
You know, if you're dressed up, you don't even feel like yourself. So you can just act like a fool.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
exactly. That was like last year old when I came with the big fat afro.
Yeah.
And like the bell bottoms, and then everybody's watching, and I did this fancy twirl, and none of them knew I was bald until my wig went off. They're like, I'm like, hey,
Yeah, it's part of the show. It's okay.
be anything you want in a costume.
That's what I say. That's why I'm always wearing them.
It's true.
Plus, they give me an excuse to run slower.
Yeah. This guy.
Costume was slowing me down.
Yeah.
A little constrictive.
So ode, and then you got nothing. Pot of gold, really?
Pot of
Pot of
gold.
gold ode with the
Prim.
original ode as well, or just the
No.
No, I'll volunteer for original. Original. Yeah, I like volunteering for that. It's fun.
You're gonna get me through the 50K without cramps.
No.
No cramps.
No cramps.
No
Those
cramps.
salt
Lots
tabs
of-
are
yeah,
what's going
lots
to get
of-
you through.
Yeah, we'll dial in your nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
I need a good spring marathon.
Loop-D. Oh, yeah. We were supposed to do Loop-D.
July.
Yeah, that would be fun. I was sicker than dog crap last year when I did it.
Aren't you and Rachel doing it though?
Yep, me and Rachel were.
Sicker than dog crap, and they took first place. I think.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Nice.
Mhm, I
So
know.
if you came in second, sorry.
That was me, Lacey, and Matt came in second. I don't know, but we beat them.
Cheater.
Cut the course.
Yeah.
I don't know how we beat them.
I don't think you did.
We did. We got the first place.
I don't think so. You must have been in a different division.
But maybe we were in a different
Yeah,
division.
You were in the cancer division.
Oh, cut. It's about to get violent. Chicago was a blast.
Chicago was a
New
blast.
York is
New
a-
York was
is a-
phenomenal.
New York
It's
was
one of my
cool,
favorites.
Yeah, I got turned
He
down.
got
So did
rejected
I. I got
twice.
rejected 2 years
Yeah,
in a
we
row.
talked about that. Yeah.
She got it first time. First application.
I guess this was the hardest year to ever get in.
Was it really?
That's what they were saying.
Why?
50th anniversary.
Oh, I can see that.
They probably want top quality
Yeah.
athletes.
That's too bad.
So
Next year's my year.
That's
We're doing it together.
we'll do 51.
Yeah, who wants 50? Everyone
Yeah.
wants 51.
We'll sing
Absolutely.
Backstreet Boys the entire time.
He's not kidding. That's why.
I'm
that
not.
what-
I did
is
it
that what
at
you guys-
Winter.
And wear, onesie unicorn outfits.
That's fine. I'm totally down.
You
with
probably
that.
have one.
I do. It's my daughter. She's 7.
You probably fit into it.
I probably could.
No, he doesn't, but he'll wear it
I'll wear it,
anyways.
yeah. Be kind of like that Naked Mile. Unicorn horns like right here.
Well, I ran in Boston with a guy that was wearing nothing but a leopard print leotard, like little skirt, and he had nothing underneath it. He was running fast. I couldn't get around him. So I was like stuck behind him, and his little butt cheeks were just, and he had it's a lot of information.
No shoes.
No shoes on either. Yeah.
See,
And no shirt.
Somebody
Just a
ran in
skirt.
Detroit with no shoes, and I thought, man, that's a really bad choice. Like,
Yeah. The whole barefoot craze. I don't know.
That didn't last long.
crazy people.
I know, they are
Crazy
crazy.
people.
What
Says the owner of a shoe store.
Yeah, that's crazy. Buy some shoes. So one thing we do on here is ask 3 questions, and wow, it's getting a little frisky over there. Ask 3 questions called the Big 3. So we'll ask each of you. The first one is your favorite race.
You're first.
Mine was. I've been thinking about that, and I think it was when I was a much younger man. I had dreams of doing a triathlon, and so I had trained all around. I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning to get pool time at the Y in Flint, and just worked really hard. I had a little red binder that showed me everything to do. And And that was
nerd runner.
I did all heart rate, did every brick workout, and
Oh, nerd alert.
so in my very first triathlon was a sprint distance in Detroit. Not try to finish, it was Motor City Tri.
Yep, on Belle Isle.
Yep,
Yeah.
on Belle Isle, and so I was instantly hooked by the community, and I went down there by myself the night before, so I could like go to the pre-race meeting and talk to all these really experienced people, and they were super cool and taught me all a bunch of stuff I'd never heard of, like how to put a wetsuit on. Never had to rent a wetsuit.
Yeah.
So and how to swim in open water, because I'd never ever done an open water swim, and anyway, so that was probably my favorite race.
Nita?
That I'll be honest, I really struggle with this because favorite races are not always necessarily having an epic experience. So like Cloud Splitter was one of my favorites just because it was so grueling and so difficult, and so overcoming all of that was pretty awesome to me. But then, you got Mohican down in Ohio, which is one of my favorites, just the beauty of Mohican, coming down into a waterfall, and just that experience was phenomenal. However, the Crim, how can you not love the Crim, your local race? It's like always, I've ran it, I think I'm at like 15 years in a row now, so that's locally would definitely be my favorite race locally.
So you have like 3 favorite
Yeah,
races.
you're gonna run for president now.
So yeah.
You didn't answer the question.
I don't know that I have
So
a
which
favorite.
of your children is your favorite?
Oh.
They're not gonna watch it. I can tell you who it is. I don't know.
You do not.
Yes, I do.
Sheba's my favorite.
So second question is most memorable race experience. Now it can be good or bad.
You first this time.
Definitely Boston 2013.
Took place.
Definitely, but I had a PR that year. I ran a 3:28:10 and had this just phenomenal experience. My family was all there, and it was like nothing shy of incredible, to be honest. And then 10 minutes later, it was just, we're eating at the Prudential, and we seriously thought that the Prudential building had been bombed at that point. So next thing you know, I'm doing a commando crawl at the chowder place, trying to find, screaming for my family, and
Chaos.
it was complete chaos. And my Austin, my oldest, he pretty much, my legs were destroyed, and every time we'd get to the train station, it was shut down.
Yeah, because they had you walking out of the city. They were just all the cops had. It was like a human chain just pushing everybody out of the city. But they shut down all communication. They shut down all the train stations. So you just had to walk all the way to MIT, almost across the river.
And
If you ever been
Austin
there.
he carried me. He carried me, and I just will never ever forget that. And it was how quickly something so incredible and epic and a dream come true, right? For everything, and then it just was stripped away from you so quickly.
Changed so fast.
And just in reminding my children too, because I made them go back 2014. I made them like, no, and that's just goes right back to even the whole cancer thing. Just reminding yourself, like, no, that's not going to own you. You cannot let those things own you. So we have to go back. So.
And it seemed like the mindset of Boston as a city that next year was, it's not going to define who we are. We're going to overcome it.
Absolutely, Boston strong. Yeah, we've got this. Yeah.
What about you, Andy? Since she's still here,
and I'm not a seasoned runner to as many as she has, or you guys, all of you guys, but mine was probably last year's Ode to Laz, when I embarrassed myself and cramped up like a child, and I whined like a little
baby.
What does that mean? What is that about?
Like a little
Antonio?
So Holly's wife, or
Holly's
Brad's
wife.
wife, Holly. She should have been a nurse. I don't know if she's got like
I
a
know.
nightingale thing
I
going on, but
know.
she takes care of people. She took care of her after some race.
Woodstock.
Woodstock. Yeah. She literally has angel wings.
Yeah.
She does.
Joe,
She does.
Big Joe gave me some tailwinds, and
Oh, yeah.
I made the
Joe
mistake
Burns.
of going back for another loop after I was completely locked up, and but I got the loop, and I was just embarrassed myself by putting a show on. So that was my most memorable race experience.
And you'll be doing it again this year.
And yeah, repeat. Right on.
You pointing at me, Rob?
I can't say.
We should.
I don't want to say. I don't want to say.
I'm gonna be at O2.
Somebody else may have cramped up,
All right.
but he didn't put a show on like I did.
We'll cry together this year.
Yeah. Last one is the coolest thing you've ever gotten from a race.
Ooh, you're first.
Any, like,
I
cool
haven't
swag
raced as
or
many
anything?
races. I mean,
Have you really liked a medal or post-race food or I don't know anything?
oh, I know. That's
Big eyes.
thank you.
What?
Brad.
See?
Yeah, your time with me.
That's what I'm here for.
Yes,
Or you get
Thursday night
quality
runs.
time spent with Antonio.
I was a lot younger, and I did Run for Wine by myself, and I went and they had the most amazing food there. That if you've
Yeah.
never ran, I don't know if they still do it, but if you've never ran that race,
does it?
Sure do.
And yeah, Brad wasn't doing it then.
Yeah,
I don't know who was doing it, but
yeah. We put
maybe
that
didn't know
put
the
that
struggle.
on.
Yeah. So yeah, that was mine. And then I always said we need to go back and do that, but we never did.
No, we didn't.
It's in October.
Yeah.
You want to come back and do it?
I had my breast lobbed off at that time, so
Yeah.
I wasn't able to
Surgery.
make it. So I will make it this year.
I'm surprised because you seem to run through
I
everything.
know.
else.
You see me coming with
What?
brain
What?
tubes.
What?
I'm
Yeah, no. What the
coming.
doctors told you not to.
Gosh. Oh yeah, no.
What about you?
Best swag. You brought up a food thing. I'm like, ooh, food. I like food. I'll run for food, but nothing really came to my mind on that one. I would say
all those cool races did not have cool food. Obviously,
they might have had some. I'm usually throwing up after I get done running, like literally like vomiting. But New York City was a lot of fun. They had some really cool swag. When you come off of the ferry and you're waiting, they give you Dunkin' Donuts hats because you're pretty much freezing to death. So, and you're out there forever and ever and ever. And then they do a really cool thing, and it wasn't per se swag, but at the time was ing. ING. And so
or ing.
or ing. My story, ing. And this knucklehead thought it would be really cool because he's not running the marathon. So he's like, "Oh, I think it'd be so fun to do those city bike thing." And they've got this scavenger hunt, and we'll just like ride the bikes through the city, and you go through all the boroughs, and each borough it's a scavenger hunt, and they give you swag.
Oh, that's cool.
It was super cool. So you get all kinds of really cool swag. However, I didn't know it was going to be like a 15-mile bike ride right before my marathon. It was a very, very painful marathon. But I got cool swag.
That doesn't seem like good timing.
No.
We wouldn't know. We didn't get accepted.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got rejected, so I wouldn't know about that.
I told Andy I'm going
That's
to
why you did
next
it.
year.
Yeah. You're like, this is a great idea.
I'm going to make you bike ride next time.
Yeah.
For sure. That was New York City then.
Cool. Anything else you guys want to share?
I know.
No.
Antonio
I've
looks
already-
like he has
I've already
something on
said
his
my
mind.
I'm good. I'm
I'm scared.
anxiously awaiting for you guys to.
My biggest thing was just make sure I said thank you for all your
Yeah,
support throughout
thank you
this.
for
and
Complete Runner. Big
Complete
support.
Runner and the running community in general just have been amazing during the whole cancer thing. And I know she's a big anchor in the community. Like you said, maybe she didn't even realize how big it is. So it was kind of cool to see that community give back to her and support her during this journey. So, well, very cool.
Thank you for all you guys do, being who you are, and thanks for taking the time to sit down with us and chat a little bit and have some laughs. And
Best
Here-
hot
here,
apple cider ever.
see, there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
And enjoy that vodka.
Well, it's water.
No. You've been drinking straight vodka for 2 hours, dude.
I'll start that room.
Yeah, no. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you, guys.
Catch us next time on the next episode. Thanks.
How can they find you, by the way? What are you on iTunes or anything?
Yeah.
Marco.
Yeah, Marco.
Because I searched Complete Runner on iTunes.
So we are on iTunes. We're on Spotify. YouTube. Oh, your iTunes. Yeah, we're on iTunes.
YouTube.
Look for
YouTube.
Yeah, and definitely YouTube, so you can see our pretty faces. Pretty faces.
You cutting me off right? Remember, I got the eyebrows.
Yeah, I know.
That's right.
I know, that's true. So catch us next time. See ya.
Thank you. It tastes different.
No, it's cold. I was just doing it so I could be with.
Tastes cold.
Kind of
So you
cool.
can be in the cool club.
It tastes cold.
All right. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna wear my Gooders during this whole thing too.
You can if you want. Okay, ready?
Want a refill?
I'm good, man. I think I'm good. I'm just taking this.
Do you want to take a piss?
I'm gonna have to.
What?
I drank like a whole bottle of water just because I felt like being on camera.
Once you break the seal.
You want some
Yeah.
salt?
No.
You're gonna cramp up on camera.
Oh my gosh, that'd be
Are we on
great.
camera yet?
We're good.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah,
Just
we
kidding.
can edit anything.
I have something wrong with my metabolism. I cramp easy, apparently.
It's called running.
Well, like I said, you guys are just coming off the trails, prancing on your toes, smiling.
Whistling Dixie.
No sweat.
That's never me, Joe. I look like a wild boar.
Oh my gosh.
You looked that way at what races did we just run? Snow Moon. Yeah.
Snow Moon. Yeah, that was a rough one.
Yeah.
A little cold.
You killed it though. Anyway.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, but hills are better than flat. You don't want flat for 30 hours.
No, not hills. These are
30 hours
hills.
Up at 30 hours. Come on.
I would just pitch like a tent.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, probably do one of those too. But
Like a bunch of
Yeah,
children.
you really need to watch your work closely.
I'm just really. Oh my gosh. Up tent.
Are we
I
on
got
camera
you.
right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're videoing that.
no, we're gonna cut that out.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll edit up.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that pitching a tent part out.
I feel like this is for a left-handed person.
You're right. No, I mean, that's on the left, but
Yeah.
you're correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was it raining?
You need a refill on that water?
No.
You sure?
Positive.
All right. I'm just making sure you're hydrated.
I might cramp.
we
we're
got
close
stuff
to
right
salt.
behind you.
We're good.
I just
Salt stick and
Yeah.
Duralights. We got you.
I can't say anything.
IV
dude.
fluids?
cramped.
I don't see any IV
You didn't
fluids.
cramp.
No.
It was more like a. Was that cramp? I
Yeah.
couldn't tell what was wrong.
Yeah, it was like the beginning stages of cramp.
Okay.
You know, like where your muscles are tightening
Yeah.
and it hurts to like stop moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
So you just keep moving.
Yeah,
just
that's
keep
why I was like,
moving.
Andy, I have to go walk around. I have to go walk. If I just stand
I feel
here,
so
it
bad
hurts.
because I talked to you in that last loop too.
Yeah.
He talked me into not running the end. I was
Right.
like,
Positive peer influence.
maybe 500 feet. He's like, why are you walking now?
Yeah, I'm like, you're not gonna run in the finish, like
Like
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
be that person?
Yeah, I was, actually. I totally was.
it's all right. We crap dusted everybody.
Was she farting?
That's what she said.
I was
That's what she said.
tooting. I was not farting. I was tooting.
Oh, tooting. That's the PC version.
Yeah.
Still smells the same.
Not
Somebody
mine.
else was farting. Antonio.
No, it was that guy on the course. Remember? I was like,
We
Blame it
passed
on
him.
the
That's
other
the guy.
guy.
That's
we
guy.
passed a guy that farted, or I passed a guy, and I heard it. and he just didn't do. He just acted like nothing, dude.
Well, what did you
course,
want
I
to
mean,
say? Oh
Well,
my
like,
gosh.
check behind you. Make sure like there's
Right,
no.
right.
You know, sorry, man.
You're running. Come on, it happens.
Dude, it was bad.
Then we passed him again. He goes, "That's that guy. That's that guy."
I looked at Andy. I was like, "That's the guy that farted." That killed me.
Oh, I need to run more races with you.
See, entertainment.
Yeah. Get your mind off the distance.
Yeah,
That's
for
right.
sure. Okay, so And that is that.
I have
guys.
to pee
So do
bad.
I.
Oh my gosh!
Don't,
Wait,
you
go
go
ahead.
first.
You
So
No,
you're
I'm
going
going
in
out
the
back.
sink.
No, he's gonna go
I'm
back.
going out back.